Today's Thursday, August 9th, 2018, and welcome to the Music Business Blitz. Sub Pop celebrates 30 years with an interesting branding campaign.
The label that helped us usher in the grunge era and who still are putting out quality acts like Father John Misty, Iron and Wine, Shabazz Palaces, and Slater Kenny, just name a few. They recently turned 30. Happy birthday, Sub Pop. And what other way would you expect an eclectic independent record label to celebrate other than to brand a commercial airplane? Yep, you heard me right, folks. And the airlines who decided to get between the sheets with Sub Pop is Alaska Airlines. The two companies, they worked together to brand a Boeing 737-800 plane with the Sub Pop logo with the intention to make it look like a Sub Pop musician's instrument case but in better condition. And it's pretty cool. If you go and check out the photos online, the back of this Alaska Airline plane, it does honestly look like a traveling musician's case, right? It's got a bunch of different stickers that say Sub Pop all over it. Very, very cool looking. So Sub Pop CEO Megan Jasper added that, quote, "Music and travel both have the power to transform us. They bring people together, they open our minds and our hearts, and they have the ability to change our moods, our days, and our lives. We're thrilled to celebrate 30 years of life-changing independent music with Alaska Airlines." Now, if you recall, Sub Pop was the first record label to actually open a record store in an airport. In the Seattle SeaTac Airport, you can go to a Sub Pop record store, and it's actually really, really cool. You would think, record store at an airport kind of whack, but no, it is super dope. Like, it's very visually pleasing. They have a bunch of shirts, a bunch of merch, a bunch of albums there. Very, very cool. And I guarantee that this outside-of-the-box thinking, coupled with the quality access Sub Pop continues to put out, is the reason why they're still killing the game 30 years later.
Verizon customers will get a taste of the Apple.
So if you are a Verizon wireless customer and you've been dying to try out Apple Music, then I have some great news for you. On August 16th, all Verizon Unlimited customers will be able to sign up for a free 6-month subscription on Apple Music. The offer applies to both new and current Verizon customers, and from what I can tell from reading different articles, there are no strings attached here, as once you successfully sign up for the service and you become a user, you can download songs ad-free, you can stream them using 4G or Wi-Fi. Essentially, you get a full-blown subscription service for the next 6 months. And from a streaming perspective, what's a better way to gain new subscribers? Well, you get a large company to cover your operating costs while you let new customers test out your platform. If you recall back on a few blitzes, Tidal recently did something similar to this with a soccer club over in Europe, and Spotify, they're taking an alternate approach and partnering up with Hulu. So it'll be interesting to see what path produces the best results. And if I'm thinking out loud here, I am willing to bet that with this influx of new users Apple Music is about to experience, I bet that they got some big things in works for the last half of the year with the intention to convert these trial subscriptions to paid subscriptions.
Slacker Radio champions country music airplay for women.
The digital streaming radio outlet Slacker is approaching music discovery in a very unique way, and they're doing this when it comes to exposing its listeners to more female country artists. Slacker Radio recently announced a new channel called #WCE Country, where they play exclusively female country artists. And to add on to that, these artists and other women who work in the industry, they curate the music and they host the DJ breaks that introduce songs on this channel. And you're probably asking yourself right now, but aren't these women, aren't they busy? Yes, they are. But Slacker did think of that, and they developed an app that allows their users to easily record and upload intros and anecdotes from their mobile phones. So if you're curious about the #WCE like I was, it stands for Women Crush Every Day, which is a completely true story. Now, in addition to that, this apparently is a play on the popular #Women Wednesdays. So this particular channel has been in development for a while now, and its intention is to boost female listenership among Slacker's more than 9 million registered users, while also shining a light on more female country artists, many of whom struggle for airplay on male-dominated terrestrial radio stations.
Pandora's podcast Genome project.
Pandora is going back to the basics of what they do best and what they did way before Spotify and Apple Music came to be. And what is it that they do best? They are wonderful at breaking down music and personalizing it to a listener's taste. And this skill set made the company what it is today. But since losing a massive amount of market share to interactive streaming services like Spotify, Pandora is now pivoting and applying their personalization skills to podcasts. So now enter the Podcast Genome project, which is designed to help users find podcasts to listen to based on the characteristics of each show. CEO of Pandora, Roger Lynch, stated that, quote, "You might look at a chart, you might see what your friends are listening to. There's nothing personalized about that. We're building for podcasts what we did for music, which is the Podcast Genome, so that we can present to you as a Pandora listener a personalized experience that will delight you just like we do with music." Lynch further went on to state that this project is a very high priority for Pandora, and as such, they plan to launch it by the end of the year. So my question here is, will this work? I am an avid podcast listener, and as such, I would like to withhold my statements until I see how the actual tech works. But I think it's interesting that they are trying to customize and personalize podcast listening, because podcasting is huge. It's very huge. So I'm going to hold my tongue until I see how this actually works out. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Catch back up with you tomorrow.